All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle with the Green Bay Packers. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
On play action, Rodgers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Chris Jones in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Rodgers. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Zadarius Smith make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now here's Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And they're going deep for Hill. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Now a hit and a loose football.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it. Somehow a ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end, you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
They're not ready for this. They still playing suck.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now on 2nd and 13, Rodgers. It's Kelsey on the ground. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. This is caught. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here, and just load up for it and see what happens.
They'll run it with Williams. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Here's Rodgers to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20, 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
You mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Here's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Travis Kelce, the all-pro tight end, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
First down, Packers. Number 53, Mike 53. Set the tone.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now it's Rodgers. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Graham. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
319.
Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. And Adams has it, complete. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. Rodgers now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Williams. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now Rodgers. Being chased out left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Off the edge, the sack by Reggie Ragland.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. To throw, it's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept in a lot of games. And now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Mahomes now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. He's got his man. That's Hardman. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. Hardman, the second-round pick out of Georgia, really showcased his speed at the combine, running a 4.3 340, and should help give Patrick Mahomes another versatile playmaker to work with at the receiver position. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Preston Smith comes in for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Returnable here for Davis. Oh, and he's taken down here by his face mask by the looks of it. And a penalty flag is going to give a much better starting position. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Reggie Ragland. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. Zadarius Smith in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. Butker, what a pickup he's been for Kansas City the last 2 years. Remember, he was drafted by Carolina to be the eventual successor to Graham Gano. That didn't pan out. Casey got him as a free agent. He's been really good.
Yeah, Gano said, oh no, I'm keeping my job. But Butker found his home in Kansas City, a franchise record for points scored in his first 2 seasons.
Darren Lee there to get him down. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a throw out to his fullback is complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. 53.
Throwing now is Rodgers. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
The Packers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Off the draw, here's Williams. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Hey, check 26. Let's go. And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Man left, man left. You got 3 down, 3 down. Slam, 43, 43. What's that?
To throw, it's Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will take it all in for a Chiefs touchdown. Mecole Hardman, 77 yards. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. That's a tough combination to defend. You know Patrick Mahomes has the big arm, and he's got the elusiveness and the speed. So even though you force him from the pocket, he's still dangerous.
Bad idea, in my opinion, to force him from the pocket. Do everything possible to hem him in and make him make the throws from right there in the center of it. And look, we know he's got the big arm. You just noted that. But when he gets outside, it puts so much stress on your defense trying to locate where receivers are, make sure you're covering them, and he can throw the ball the length of the field. So you just tell a receiver, just keep going. He'll find him, and he did there.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. To Valdez-Scantling over the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. To the right side, it's Kelsey. A gain of 6 there on first.
Complete to Travis Kelsey. Out of bounds at the 46-yard line. It's a pickup of 6.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And again, it's Rodgers. Caught left side, Williams. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Open man is Allison, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now a timeout called with 3 seconds to go. And, of course, they're in field goal range in the final seconds of this first half. And he missed it. It's no good. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
They're running it. Watch twist. Hey, Ripley.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Finding Hardman here over the middle. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Throw to the right. He's got the tight end here, Sternberger. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
At the 23-yard line.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Let's go!
Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Jay Sternberger, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Setting aside the matchup of Mahomes and Rodgers for a minute, this game is one of the NFL 100 Series bouts that they're having this season. And we saw the Packers in this game last week when they faced the Raiders, their opponent in Super Bowl II. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. He's going to look deep down the field. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the rookie from UVA, Thornhill. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Point after, right down the middle. And it is 28-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, check.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Rodgers again now. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one goes for 24 yards.
And a Packer first down.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. On play action, now Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Reggie Ragland able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Rodgers on target here to Allison. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Frank Clark in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. Now Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Rashawn Gary. And that will force a turnover on downs. So that's the 2nd time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped.
And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. We're back now in KC. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now Mahomes. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, yellow, go gun. Check, 93's the mic, 93's the mic. Yellow. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they... 2, fellas, let's go. 3. Check three.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He's going to air one out. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A gain of 39 that time. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Blake Martinez, the NFC's leading tackler a year ago, in on the stop. They'll go again to Jones. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Jay Sternberger, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Throwing is Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Rashawn Gary, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Watch out for Hill on the return. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
2nd and 5 now. Mahomes, Preston Smith, able to record his 5th sack of the season.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Strong left.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. Well, he's going to go for it all. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Butker's kick here is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing again on second down. Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Frank Clark in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score.
Rush in. Rush in. 26.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's going to go down again. Frank Clark, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
5. Mike. Hey, come on.
Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. On first down, it's Jones. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Butker able to put this one through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
Be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
You're not going to want that feeling.
no, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. One final try now for Rodgers. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out